Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Daily Dose. I think we have an exciting Daily Dose for you today. It's a little bit of a show and tell because we're going to also show you a video.
Ooh,
I know.
technology.
I know. And we're talking about science and alcoholism and spirituality and all kinds of things. So, Dr. Mary, do you want to first define what a fractal is, please?
A fractal is a branching and a continuous branching pattern. A great example I can give you is if you look at the general structure of a tree, and then if you've ever had a leaf in your hand and you see how it branches out, if it's a dicot leaf, so it's not parallel. There you go.
Like a pine tree?
So it looks like a, yeah. So
a non-pine tree.
So you've got
tree.
a central vein that spreads out that way. Trees do that. We do that. On our vascular system does that. Our nervous system
Rivers
does
do
it.
it.
Rivers do it.
Yeah. So let's,
I'm sorry. Those patterns of branching into smaller units, like your lungs, for example, that's what a fractal is.
What are those little guys called in your lungs?
Alveoli.
Oh, I was going to say that. Oh, sometimes science really works in my brain. Not often, but occasionally. Okay, I'm going to, yeah.
It's an odd way of saying it, though. You get science.
Not so much. I'm going to show you. Look at this. You're going to see us inside us. That's going to throw us all for a loop. All right. I'm going to show you this video. We're going to show you this video because I think it's really lovely. It's just 3 minutes long. Really pay attention to this image. Okay. I thought that was really beautiful.
It was.
Okay.
Friends would walk up to me and just be like,
Neat.
what the f is in your
Love
mug?
when this happens.
And I would just tell them,
Stop it right now. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to read you one paragraph because now we're going to move into how fractals and alcoholism or recovering from alcoholism are the same. Martha Beck's book, The Way of Integrity, really, really interesting book. She uses Dante's Divine Comedy, his trip through the Inferno, hell, purgatory, and heaven as the framework of this book. It's really fascinating. She says something similar to fractaling happens when people change their behavior, as you will on your way of integrity. The shape of your life, your words and actions will shift in ways that affect the people around you. As those people change, the shift in their lives will affect the people around them. The pattern of integrity recurs in the same shape, but at a larger scale. As a twig is to a branch is to a tree trunk, so one human's integrity is to a couple's, a family's, a nation's. This is how individuals and small groups may end up influencing huge numbers of people. So when I read that paragraph a couple of days ago, I thought immediately that this was a really great topic for us, in part because occasionally I like to try to bring in something science-y. I know that's not a word, but you know what I mean. It's whatever, you know,
it should be.
It's like how Jim Gaffigan says he's indoorsy. You know, if you add a Y to the end of a word, it just sort of funifies the word. Anyway.
It's also cheating at Scrabble, so be careful.
That's true. Back to the topic at hand. I think it's nice to do that. Dr. Mary has all this incredible science education, which I almost never give him the opportunity to talk about because I can't tell you how little I actually care about most science. So when something scientific interests me, I try to bring it up in an effort to recognize your entire life's passion and work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what do you want to say about this, Dr. Mary?
Well, that paragraph you read out about the whole thing about an individual can affect a large number of people, mostly for the positive. Before we get off on a big shiny stride, it's also important to remember that this could also be a negative thing. Yep. It's all balanced. So how dictators rise is the same thing, but we're going to be talking about the positive side of how on earth this fractal thing affects alcoholism. If you can sort yourself out, and one of the things I first learned, the first rehab meeting I went to was someone gave me an analogy of a plane disaster. The oxygen mask comes down. First thing you should do is put your own on before you help someone else. If you can sort yourself out, then you can be of use to others. And that's where the branching pattern starts. You change the course of your life. And, you know, to give you a nautical term, if you turn the right direction 1 degree to starboard, say.
To the right. I'm very nautical as well.
People will follow you in that direction because the way it's beneficial to you, if you can explain that benefit, people will go with you. So you're branching off in one direction from a straight line. And if you continue to turn in the right direction, people will follow you because how you affect yourself in a positive way is going to influence them. They're going to influence others, and everyone will turn in a direction that's beneficial to everyone. In fact, this has just dawned on me. This is also the entire principle of herd immunization.
Do you want to say more?
The whole thing, yeah. The idea of herd immunization is it stops an infection. For a pandemic to die down, you need 80% at least of people to be either recovering from a disease or be immunized against a disease, so a disease can't spread. So wherever that group of people go, everyone's going to be safe.
Interesting.
So that's a fractal right there.
So can I bring this back to us?
You certainly can.
Maybe I've said this before, chances are high, but when Maz was drinking, I was angry all the time. Angry at him, angry at myself, angry at unnamed things because I couldn't quite put my finger on what I was really angry at. And when he was in the hospital and I was doing all of that journaling that I've referenced, I wrote pretty repeatedly that I was really afraid that if he figured himself out, I would simply shift my anger and my accusations and my rage at him away from drinking and towards fill in the blank, whatever it was going to be. And the most incredible thing actually happened. Maz got sober and 96.5% of my anger went away because the problem was no longer a problem. And so Maz getting sober and moving in a positive direction opened up a path for me to move in a positive direction, which opened up a path for our son to move and our families and our friends. We have a number of friends who have become much more conscientious about how often, how much they drink because we've started talking about it. We know that there are people watching Daily Dose whose lives have been changed because of this. So it's that repeating pattern, which just goes on and on and on and on and expands and extends and suddenly has this depth and breadth that goes way beyond one person choosing to stop drinking. But look at the ripple effect that it has had on so many people. And we're really just getting started.
Now, what you do on this journey when you follow this pattern of fractals is you've got to learn as you go along the way. You've got to self-check yourself. And now, if you've got people that are going with you because you're moving towards your own happiness and they feel a benefit from it, so they're going to, people generally attract to each other by likes, so they go with you on this journey. It's not the blind leading the blind. Communication. And one of the things that we did every morning in AA was fill in a little questionnaire about what your goal is for the day. And the guy that was doing it always says that his third goal of what's most important is to work on the three things that's important to get through the day: communication, communication, and communication. So self-check yourself, acknowledge your own mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. Own up to them, which is something when you weren't starting in the road of recovery, you would never do because you didn't think you made mistakes.
Well, and it's not just alcoholics who have a hard time admitting their own mistakes.
Also, don't sell yourself short. If someone gives you a compliment, thank them and don't pack it away going, ooh, think, ooh, all right, I'm doing something right. Nice one. Or that was a good, if someone says to you, that was generally okay, but this could have been better. Take note, self-check yourself.
Self-check yourself is redundant, I think.
Not really.
Yes.
Check yourself.
Yes.
Self-check yourself.
We have about 90 seconds.
Please
so
comment below.
if you have things. Like
and going back to Dante, love doesn't divide the pool of goodness; it multiplies it for everything. Because if you start going one way and everyone as affecting other people, herd immunization, for an example, right there. The truth will set you free is the bottom line of this. Follow a pattern. If it's a pattern that's of benefit to other people, they'll follow it with you and you all learn along the way. And that is a branching from branching pattern, which is a fractal.
Look at that. Science and alcoholism.
Science with a smile, first thing on a Tuesday morning.
All right. Thursday, Lillian Cotter is joining us. Lillian is the woman who we hired to do the audit of Daily Dose, but she has her own story around alcoholism and addiction that she's going to share with us. So I hope you tune in Thursday. Please remember, if this content was interesting to you today, now you can share it with people who are trying to recover from something, people who are struggling with something, and scientists. So the ripple effect just gets bigger and bigger, but please share the content. Have an excellent day. We'll see you on Thursday.
See you Thursday.
Bye.